So today we're going to be making Captain Jack Sparrow's compass. Shoo! So you want to start by cutting out 7 squares from some corrugated cardboard. I'm choosing an old box here. And then you'll cut the corners off of the squares to make them in the shape of Jack Sparrow's compass. Do that to all 7 of them. So you'll have 3 for the top and then 4 for the bottom. So take a compass and make a circle on one of your cornered off squares and then cut it out with an X-acto knife. And you'll do that with all the pieces except the very bottom one. And so you'll do it with the 3 pieces of the top too, except that the 3rd piece you'll just cut out almost all of it so that you get just a little bit of an out round, and that will be the bottom of the top piece of the compass. So those will all fit right over each other. So then you'll just glue them together, putting the 3 pieces with the circles on the bottom, on the piece that doesn't have a circle, to make the bottom section, and then you'll glue the other 3 together to make the top. So then on your bottom section you want to put some glue on the side and cover it with some cardstock. You'll do that all the way around, and that'll give it flat sides. And so then just trim it off on both the top and the bottom so that it's the same height as your stack of cardboard, so that all you have left is the flat sides on the outside. Just like that. You do the same thing to the top piece as well, and they'll fit over each other with flat sides then. And then you do the same thing to the insides of the circles as well. So then get yourself a piece of 3mm craft foam, and you just want to lay it over a tennis ball or something round and heat it up with a blow dryer. And then you'll just stretch it over the ball so it maintains that round shape. So then just pull it off once it's cool, and you'll have the little dome. So you just want to cut out around the actual domed part of it and cut it small enough so it'll fit in the hole in your compass. And that should slide right up through there on the top piece. So you got your little compass dome, and you can see it on both sides. So you should have this so far. So then you want to get yourself a hinge. And on the top piece I gouged out a little section of the cardboard where the hinge was going to sit. And so then I just took some power tack, because you need a glue that will adhere to metal, so hot glue won't work for this. So just glue that to the 2 pieces of the compass, and then you'll be able to open and shut your compass very easily. So on the back side behind the hinge, just take something sharp and drill a hole through it, and then put some power tack on an eye screw and screw that into that hole in the back. So then on the front side, there's one of those little mini closure things, but I couldn't find one. So what I did was I just took a sewing pin and I cut it in half, and then I dipped it in a little power tack, and then I just shoved it right in the front of the compass, shoved it all the way in until the head touched the cardboard, and it's short enough that it doesn't go all the way through. Then I just cut a piece of cardstock in kind of a claspy looking shape and drill the hole in it, in the bottom part of it. And that's big enough to fit right over the head of the pin. So then I just took a pencil and marked out where the top of the cardstock sat, put a little bit of glue on it, and glued it in place. So that way that opens and closes, it just goes over the head of the pin. So then I painted the whole thing black. So there it is once it's all black. And then I painted the cardstock clasp a metallic gold. And then I painted the inside a metallic blue. Jack also had like some stars or something on the inside of it, but I just went with plain blue. So there's it all painted. And then for the lines, they're kind of like a cream off-white, and my paint ended up looking almost silver, which I wasn't exactly thrilled about, but I had already painted them and I didn't want to do it again, so my lines were kind of silver. So then I just printed out a picture of the inside of the compass on a piece of cardstock, and then from some 3mm foam I cut a circle and 3 little points, and then I just glued all those little points onto the bottom of the circle at evenly spaced intervals. And then I cut a circle out of some cardstock, and I hot glued that onto the bottom of the little points, just like that. And then I took a tack and I shoved that through the middle of the piece of cardstock. Then I cut kind of this weird little shape out of some more craft foam, put some hot glue on the bottom of the points, and glued that on top of the circle. And so now I've got my little piece with the tack sticking out the bottom, and I painted the whole thing metallic gold. So then I just pushed the tack through that piece of cardboard compass that I'd printed out. And so then, because the bottom of my compass is cardboard, I just took the tack and I pushed that right into the bottom of that as well. And that allows my compass to move freely, and the top part of it can turn separately from the bottom and can turn all the way around 360 degrees, so it's kind of nice to play with. Then it opens and closes still, because you want to make sure that you leave it short enough so it'll fit in the dome on that compass. And so then for the final touch, just add a string, and then you can tie it to your belt. Been looking all over for this. Captain Teague's Greatest Hits.